Real estate transactions are stressful. I mean, there's no sugarcoating it. It's a stressful process. The market is still very competitive. Hello, my name is Morgan Ferguson. I'm a Damon, Gettier and Associate, Realtor, brokered by Real. I actually got started in real estate back in 2008. I'd always kind of had a passion for it. I have a funny story behind that, which we can delve into later, but I kind of always had the niche for it. And I joined another large brokerage in the area in 2008. I don't know how many people are familiar with 2008, but it's kind of when the market kind of tanked. So I didn't do much, got out of the business, went a different route, and then got back in January of 2014. So when I got back in the business in 2014, I've been with Damon, Gettier and Associates ever since. I had known him through some mutual friends, didn't really know him personally, but like knew about him and all that. And so I just went directly to his office, or maybe I sent him a message, but said, hey, I'm getting my reinstating my real estate license, would like to meet and chat with you about, kind of what you have to offer. And that was kind of all she wrote. Well, luckily for me, I can compare and contrast because I was with another large brokerage originally. Not that I have anything negative to say about that brokerage, but it's just a whole different dynamic here. I actually started with Damon when we were over at Towers Mall over off Colonial Avenue. A lot smaller then. He has grown immensely since then, obviously, but it's just different because I think it's the team dynamic that I think sets us apart sets Damon, Gettier and Associates apart from other brokerages. So I actually work with buyers and sellers. I think last year I was the only agent in the office that was literally 50-50. 50% buyers, I worked 50% buyers and 50% sellers. And I enjoy both sides, so I like having, switching it up every now and then because it's two totally different worlds, for sure. Typical work day or work week, busy, very busy. I think there's this stigma around, I want to get into real estate, it's all rainbows and butterflies and I can work whenever I want and make my own schedule. And that's not if you want to be successful, at least. I get here at 8 a.m., we have a morning huddle, we kind of set wins for the day as a team, and then we set out to make our win, basically. So we usually prospect in the mornings, and then afternoons and evenings are either for more prospecting or showing houses or meeting with clients or listing appointments, et cetera. Everything that's thrown our way because you never know what's going to happen from one day to the next. My main goals with working with clients, just for them to be happy, because real estate transactions are stressful. I mean, there's no sugarcoating it. From prior to getting under contract, shopping for houses, looking at houses, it's a stressful process. The market is still very competitive, but once they find the one and we do get under contract, the contract close process there's a lot of moving parts, a lot of variables. You have finishing up the negotiating, then you have inspections, and then you got to negotiate through the inspections. And then from there, whether it's cash buyer or someone doing a loan, you got to wait for the lending process and the appraisals and all of that stuff. So keeping buyers and sellers just level-headed. Again, it's always a lot of emotions and I get it, but I think my biggest goal is throughout the transaction from contract to close is just to kind of bring the stress to me because this is what I do for a living, and try to alleviate the stress on them. It's buying and selling real estate is the biggest financial decision anyone's going to make in their entire life. So yes, it's going to be stressful, but if you have a good agent like myself and you trust them, it's kind of, at least I feel like it's my job to take as much of that off of them as I possibly can. The best thing about being part of the team is just the constant support, and also probably just talk with other agents and their situations and their scenarios, and you're constantly learning stuff. So every single day, I've been doing all this almost 12 years, but every single day I'm learning something new. So newer agents will come to me for advice, and maybe I've been through something similar, so I can kind of help them or guide them, and vice versa. I mean, just because I've been doing this for 12 years doesn't mean that I have all the answers. We just bounce stuff off of each other, basically. You always have someone to go to if you need, whether it's just someone to talk to, someone to vent to, or advice. regarding a transaction or a situation. So aside from making the obvious, making my clients happy, another rewarding part is probably just seeing them find that perfect home. I mean, buyers, for instance, they'll look and they'll look and they'll look, and they start getting discouraged sometimes because they can't find everything they want. And then you walk into one house and it's everything they wanted and that's it. And I think just seeing that we do have a lot of gorgeous, beautiful homes in the area, I think just seeing where everyone ends up, is just kind of, gratifying, I guess. If I were to give any advice to someone that's looking to buy or sell a home, just do your due diligence. I mean, meet with your agents, interview with them, ask them questions. I can tell you how many times we've gotten calls from people that want to see a house and they've tried to call their agent after we find out they have an agent. They want to see a house, and of course that's the first question. We want to make sure you're not working with anyone. We don't want to, we can't step on any toes and reveal they have an agent and they can't reach them, or they're out of town, or who knows what else. But I think that's super important, just to make sure your agent is going to communicate effectively, they're going to be dependable, and they're looking for you 24/7. So we have in the MLS, we have what's called the hot sheet, which are all the new properties that hit the market every day. It's kind of embarrassing, but I probably look at the hot sheet 40 times a day. Kind of obsessed with it because I just don't want any of my buyers to ever miss out on what could potentially be the perfect home. So yeah, if you're looking to buy or sell real estate, whether it's now, 6 months, a year from now, reach out. Love to chat with you. And even if you're in the beginning stages, or even if you're teetering or on the fence, it's still definitely helpful to at least have a conversation. And that's what we're here for. That's what I'm here for. My number is 540-246-0995. So yeah, feel free to share this video if you know anybody that's looking or thinking about looking or thinking about potentially selling their home. Come see us at Damon, Gettier & Associates, brokered by Real. Hope to see you soon.